Welcome back friends, and my name is Ashik, and let's continue the series on Python. And this video we will talk about one of my favorite topics, which is called as data types. Now why it is so important? We have worked with variables and that was working. Now when you work on a project, it is very important to understand that whatever data you working with, so that we can process the data in this format. Because if you don't process the data in a particular format, you might be face an error or maybe bugs. And trust me, bugs are horrifying. So whatever data types we have, let's create a list of my data types. First one is none, second one is numeric, list, tuple, set, string, range, and dictionary which can be called as map. And what is none? When you have a variable and that variable is not assigned to any value, that is called none. Normally in other language we normally use as null. So now the topic is numeric. When we talk about numeric, then we have four types of data type with numeric. One is integer, that is int, another is float, another is complex, and the last one is bool or boolean. When I talk about integer, then I am going to create an integer variable like num, and I have to assign a number with this 6. If I press enter, the integer variable is created. How do we know this is the integer type of value? In fact, in our last session we have done this. One function called type. If I pass variable, then it says class integer. Don't worry about class, I will talk about class later in detail. In time being, it is a integer class. If I get another variable with the float type 5.6, if I want to print that value, it is showing 5.6. If I want to know the type of this variable, it is saying that it is float type. We also have complex. Now what complex means? If you remember in mathematics, we have used to complex number, which is a plus bi. It is defined as a complex number, where bi is an imaginary number and one value is added with the imaginary number, that is called complex number. But in our Python program, we can use the complex number like a plus bj. Here I should use j instead of I, but I have to create a complex number. That's why I can say 6 plus 9j, and if I press enter, then I am created a complex number. If I want to show the type of my complex number, then it's showing that it is a complex number. Normally j is represented the square root of -1. Complex means you have a number plus or minus with another imaginary number. Can I convert from different type? Example, I want to convert float into integer type. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Let's check it. If I say a equal to 6.7, a is a float number and I want to get a b variable with the integer of a. How can I get this? B equal to, we have another function called int and I have to pass the value a. If I press enter and check the value of b, then it says only 6 because it's the integer of a. If I want to check b, then it says it's an integer class. If I get another variable k and which is given a float number of b, pass then b in the float function. If I check the value of k, then it says 6.0, that means it's a float number. Can I convert normal number into a complex number? Yes, I can. So let's try it. If I say k equal to 9 and c is another variable which is complex number, I have to pass two variables. One is b, another is k. If I press enter, the complex value is created If I want to check the value, yes, I have got the complex number. If I want to check the type of complex number, yes, it is saying it's a complex number. We can convert the value from here to there. In fact, in the string we can convert like this, and we will see in later. So now the time to talk about bool. What is Boolean? Boolean is nothing but only yes or no. That means true or false. When your brain is thinking about any complex things, you are thinking about yes or not. That means true or false. If you get things about profit or non profit, if it will be profited for you, then you will go for that, then it is true for you. In mind works on condition true or false. So let's check the Boolean. If I say b equal to 6 and k equal to 9, and I can say b less than k, it is true. I can assign a variable. If I want to print this variable, it is saying true. If I want to know the type of, yes, it is saying it's a Boolean class. If I say b greater than k, then it gives me false. True or false, nothing but 0 and 1. True is 1, false is 0. I can convert this integer number. Yes, true is showing that it is the value of 1. So true is showing that the value is 1, and false will be 0. The next type we have, in fact we have discussed about those names. Those things comes under sequence. So when we say list, set, tuple, range, those things comes under sequence. Now we have worked with list before. So how do I define a list? If I create a list, lst equal to, I have to use a square bracket, 25, 20, 44, 32 and 14. I have created a list. If I want to know the type of this, it is a class of list. Same thing we can do with the set. If I want to create a set, then I should use a curly bracket. So set doesn't support duplicate value. That means you have all time a unique value in a set. Let's try it. If I press enter, the set is created. If I want to print the set, look, that 2 was duplicate when I created a set, but after printing it's showing that 2 is only 1. That means it's not ordered and it has no duplicate value. If I want to check the type of set, yes, it is saying the class of set. Another thing is tuple. If I want to create a tuple, I have to use round bracket. Yes, I have created tuple. I want to know the type of tuple. It says tuple class, and tuple is immutable. That means you cannot change the value in tuple. Now we have another thing is string type. If I want to create a string type variable, then I can use double quote or single quote. If I want to print this, yes, I have created a string. If I want to know the type of string, then it will say it is the string class. We have done that in details in our earlier video. If you want to more about list, tuple, set, you can go the previous video and watch it. In this video, we are only going to talk about the data types in Python. How about character? Because we have not talked about character before. If you have coming from some other language like C, C++, Java, there is a type called char. That is the character type of that language. But in Python there is no type char, but we have string type. If I want to get single character, then I can assign a string variable with only single character. That will be a character. Now we have another stuff which is present in Python but not in other language, which is called range. Example, when you iterate, what is iterate? Iterate is something like that, you can go 1 to 10 or 10 to 1. That means you are going a range with a sequence like 0, 1, 2, 3 to the 10 or 10 to the 100 or to the 1000. That is iteration, and we can use the for loop for the iteration, but unfortunately we do not use the for loop in our previous video. That's why we are not going to use for loop in this video. How do we define the range? And it is very simple. If I want to create a range, I just want to need the call range, and I just want to create range between 10. If I press enter, then the range is 0 to 10. We can convert this range to a list so that we can print that list. If I want to create a list, press enter, then I can get the first 10 value from the range. We can use the for loop for printing this range, but unfortunately we are not going to use for loop here. If I want to print a range which will be print only even number, what should I do now? List. Range can get 3 parameters. I want to, the first parameter will be 2. That means it will print the first element is 2 and the end element is 10 and the difference is 2. What will happen? Let's check it. Yes, it's printing the even number. If I want to check the type of range, yes, we can say the class is range, and all these things come under sequence. Now we have the most exciting thing about mapping, which is called also dictionary. Now what is dictionary? Imagine you have a huge number of data, and if you want to fetch the data in an efficient way or a fast way, what you can do? You can assign a key with all the values, and if you call the keys, then you will get the assigned value of the keys. Normally in list we can do with the help of index number, but in dictionary we have to use a key, and the key will be a unique number. Don't forget it, key will be a unique number. Value you can repeat, but key will be unique. Example, I have a group of friends and someone use iPhone, someone use Samsung, and someone use OnePlus. But how can I know? So here of course we can do a index number. Example, index number 0 will assign to a iPhone, index number 1 will assign to Samsung, index number 3 will assign to OnePlus, and so on. So we want to have all this number. Instead using this index number, we can use key, which is your name. Example, if I say Ashik using iPhone, Asif using Samsung, John using OnePlus, then it will be very efficient way to get your data by the key. And here the name is key, and it will be unique. So it will be an easy way to fetch data with help of key. In fact, you can use roll number. When you go to your school or college, in classroom you have a roll number. Seat will be assigned with a roll number. So roll number is a key and it is a unique value. How can I define dictionary? Let's define dictionary D. I can use curly bracket. Look, when you talk about set, we have used curly bracket. Again in dictionary we have to use curly bracket because set and dictionary does not support a duplicate value. That means the key will be unique in your dictionary. If I want to say Ashik using Samsung, Asif using iPhone, John using OnePlus, and press enter, and I have created a dictionary. If I want to see my dictionary, yes, this is showing my dictionary D. If I want to know the all keys from the dictionary, if I want to know the all keys from my dictionary, the keys function will help you get all your keys. And if I want to know the values, the values function will help you to get your values from your dictionary. If I want to get the exact value, that means I want to know about Asif. as if using iPhone. There is another function to get the value, which is get function. If I want to press I have to pass the key value. I just want to know the John. John is using 1 plus. Yes, the type of D is dictionary. That's how we work with all data type in Python. So let's get a list about data type in Python again. One is none, numeric, and numeric has integer, float, complex, and boolean. Another is set, list, tuple, range, string, and dictionary, which is called as map. So I hope it makes sense. If you have any problem, let me know in comment section, and do click the like button if you're enjoying this series. Thank you.